Hi, I'm Ray Boble, and this is the Beauville and Newtown Railroad, or Model Railroad. Steve. If anybody hadn't caught it, Mr. Steve Childers from the Retirement Railroad called me out for the Jac Jac Triple Dog Dare Challenge, which happens to be running hopper cars, covered hopper cars to be more precise. This presented a little bit of an issue for me because, well, my more modern 55-foot hopper cars have been converted to be transition cars, which means that they're horn hook on one end and KD on the other. But my older 30 tons, my short hoppers are still all KD. But as it turns out, it actually worked out. So let's go ahead and bring the monster onto the layout. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, so on the northbound inner loop, we've got the New England, Berkshire, and Western AB F7 AB unit pulling the hopper train, as I'm going to call it. The first car is an ACFX 55-footer, then we've got a Chassis System 55-footer, a Norfolk and Western 55-footer, a Diamond Plastics 55-footer, another Chassis System 55-footer, the STS car with the correct logos facing out, by the way. The Western Maryland 30-footer, a Union Pacific, an Erie, a Reading, a Delaware and Hudson, and another Chassis System. And let's go ahead and see if I can do this without causing too much trouble. We'll do a side-on shot here. There we go. So you can see the cars by the side. And of course, I've been thinking about who I could call out for this. And, well, I already know the better part of the STS crew, if not all of the STS crew, has been called out. So that's kind of a moot point. Give me a minute. We'll stop the camera here. Alright, so who the heck to call out? Well, I first thought it was Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider, but then I happened to think he probably doesn't have, as they would call them over in Europe, any covered wagons. So I went ahead and, no, I won't call him out. But instead, I'm going to call out Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt, Ian from the Lehigh River Subdivision, and Redbird Tony. So there's my three, and thanks for watching the Jac Jac Challenge. Oh, speaking of one other thing real quick, because I was going to do this tomorrow, but this happens to be Saturday the, I'm terrible with dates. I think it's the 21st. Yeah, it's the 21st. Sidetrack Sunday, tomorrow night, my channel, August the 22nd, 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Going to have hopefully have a great show. Probably going to have a lot of hilarity in it as usual. You know how my Sidetrack Sundays go. But I am going to try and touch on a couple of topics, somewhat related to the railroad, operating sessions. For one, the way I'm using the car cards for rotation, and talk about how I'm going to try and come up with some sort of a schedule for how this thing, or how how the rolling stock is going to run through. So probably going to have maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3, maybe, I don't know. Special guests might show up. I don't know. Sometimes you never know who's going to come in the basement door because I never keep it locked. But anyway, so there's my Jac Jac challenge. Again, I'm calling out Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt, Redbird Tony, and Ian from the Lehigh River Subdivision. And you all know the deal. Wait for the high ball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless. We'll see you.